How you doing? Thanks for coming on.
Hi everyone. Yeah, it's
Hi.
I'm really glad you invited me, so thank you very much and let's have fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great to have you on. And well, firstly, where are you joining us from today?
I am at home currently. We're having a few weeks off, or let's say I just started with some physical preparations at the moment, but yeah, I'm doing this at home, so I'm enjoying a bit of non let's say environment where there is not too much snow.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, is it nice to have a little period away from it? Do you enjoy this time of the year?
Yeah, I actually do. I really like the winter time and I love when we ski, but I also really enjoy when it's off season and I can take some time to do different things, have time for my friends and family. So it's also a really nice part of the year.
Yeah. Um, you can take this however you way. It's something I quite like to start with now, actually. Um, how have you scored a World Cup podium? What made you into such a great skier?
Uh, that's a tough one actually. Yeah, I've always had a passion for skiing. Like since I was little, I always enjoyed what I did. So it was always a thing not to ski to become, let's say, a World Cup winner or a World Cup podium, but more to ski to enjoy skiing, try to be better every day, and then that kind of leaded towards the results that I had. So let's say that this podium was just like a bit of a cherry on a cake, and I hope I will get a few more cherries in my career. But I think it's important not to have only this in mind, but to enjoy also the process.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's
Um,
not. It's not just the end product. It's the journey, isn't it?
Of course, yeah.
Enjoying the journey as you go through it. Yeah.
Yeah, there are
Yeah.
like little moments that are really, really spectacular in sport, like when you score a podium or you win a race. But there are so many moments that are not so easy in your career, so it's important that you can like enjoy it as well. So
Yeah.
to find something that you like every day.
Yeah. That's good.
I'm
Good.
gonna take you to the very start of your World Cup career, and I just want to ask: at 16 years old, you made your debut in Maribor,
Yeah.
and I would imagine that's pretty close to home. What was that day like and that feeling?
Yeah, it was actually, I remember us being on some training. At that point, I was still with the, let's say, junior team, and there was a spot available for the World Cup at home. And then they told me maybe a week before the race, there is a spot left and you can go. So for sure, for me, it was like, oh, okay. Of course, like it was the thing I always dreamt about. At the moment, I knew I was not, let's say, ready to score the points or to be at the level that the top racers were at that moment, but it was a big opportunity for me. Also, you saw that the people believed in me, so that's why I got it. And yeah, I was really happy to have that race. I still remember that it was the service guy who took my skis on the start, so that was something new for me. Before that, it was always me carrying my skis, so I was like, are you sure you're gonna take it? Yeah. Okay, that's great. So it was definitely a new experience, and maybe like an insight to what my future skiing career can look like. So I enjoyed the day. I had an early DNF, but it was still a really nice day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then coming straight back to the present or more of the present, how do you rate your 2023-24? Your overall thoughts of the last season?
Yeah, well, this season was, let's say, a bit of tough season for me. It definitely didn't go as planned. I've had 4 seasons before that that were really good, and I was always doing a step forward. And so yeah, this season was there was a lot of challenges. I had a switch with the coaches in the middle of the season, and there were also some other things. So I think that I couldn't really perform on the level that I wanted to, and I thought that I could. So then it was, once the ball started to roll in the wrong direction, it was hard to stop it. So at the moment, I feel like I really did show some good skiing at the end, not put it together at the race, but it's still, let's say, a good feeling for the next season. I learned a lot from this season. I growed as a person also. I know how to stand up for myself more than I did in the past. So let's say it has taught me a lot, but I wished I could be faster on the races.
The place you're in now, is it where you would have thought you was going to be when you did start World Cup skiing? Or did you think you'd be able to, well, what level did you think are you happy with where you are?
Actually, I am, yeah. I come from a town that is really not a skiing town. We don't have snow at all. So it was always a long drive to get to the ski resort. So for us, it was always like skiing was fun to do it at the weekends for the holidays. And I never really thought I could come to this level. Then, of course, like with when you start to ski better, then the ambitions grow and everything. But I think if I look back and someone would tell me, yeah, you will finish your season as a top 7 slalom racer, or you will score podium, I would be, of course, like really happy with that. So I'm glad with where I have come, and I hope I can also show some more in the upcoming years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Thank you.
Well, we
Thanks.
just sort of read out a few of the stats and basically what you've done in your career that I've got in front of me here. And I just said to Alan, you've surely got to be proud of that. That is an exceptional record. And you say to only add to that you're not really from a skiing area. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's a different story for sure, but I think it's important that maybe from our environment, that the ones that come to the ski world, we really like it. So because you had to put so much more effort than the ones that were already on the ski resorts or living really close to that. So I think that was one thing that really helped me to go through everything, because I really loved that sport. And every time I was on snow, I was trying to do as many runs as possible, and then to ski until the chairlift was closing. So yeah, so it was a bit different, let's say different story, but I think it was also a lot of positives coming from that. And also when I come home, I get to see the green trees, not the snow, so I can rest my mind, which is also really positive.
So when will it be that you next go on snow? Is it this a prolonged period, or is it you're going to be searching for snow in Europe or South America?
Yeah, we're actually going like next time on snow in August, beginning of August in South America. We really like used the good conditions that were close to our home in April, so we did a lot of ski days in April, and now we're taking a break, doing like physical preparations, and then once we go actually to Ushuaia in Argentina, then we stay there for quite a long time. So we're gonna do a lot of ski days there, and then up to the season.
Yeah, of course.
Do you enjoy the exercise and the effort you've got to put in to get to the level you need before the season starts?
Yeah, that's actually kind of the tough part of the season. So it's because you really like your goal is really far. The races are still starting end of October, so it's like a long period, but you need to really work hard now if you want to then be able to perform good on trainings and then later on the races. So this is a bit of like, yeah, not the easiest time of the year, but as I said, I enjoy being at home, so I'm taking advantage that I can be more with my people and then doing the physical trainings at home. So I think this is really interesting in skiing, because you have a bit of everything. So it's not the same that all year is the same. The environment changes, like what you do is changing. So this is very interesting, and you're never bored.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump back to your World Cup podium, because it was in Alpine combined, one of only 5 World Cup combines that you've actually started. and it was back in 2018. So was there many opportunity to do combined, or was it sort of you said, yeah, sure, I'll give it a go and have a slalom run in the second run?
Yeah, I was actually never like a speed racer. I did speed like with the purpose to be better with the technical disciplines, but I never really raced in speed. So of course, like going to the combine, it was I didn't have many trainings with speed, so it was always like getting used to the speed, and then the goal was always to come in top 30 with the speed event, and then try to push with slalom. And then that day, of course, I was a bit of lucky, so because I was just on the 30th place after the Super G, I had actually a really bad Super G run, but at the end it was perfect, I guess. And so then in slalom I was like, yeah, now I really need to push like full, guys, I have nothing to lose. And then I did a really like perfect run, no mistakes, and then also the course didn't hold up as good as it could. So yeah, it was a long wait in the finish area, and it kind of everything turned as it should. I mean, it was a really nice day. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so sometimes there are advantages when you don't get up in the top 10 for the first run. Sometimes condition-wise, this last season specifically, I think, where the pistes have actually deteriorated fast for the second run, haven't they?
Yeah, of course. Sometimes it's let's say in combined, this was even more specifically because like normally the slalom racers were behind and then the speed racers in front, but also in the other technical events, it's yeah, a lot of times the second runs with the sun coming in and getting warm, it gets really soft. So sometimes you figure out maybe it was better that you did a bad first run and then you took advantage in the second, but you can never count on it. So you always try to go full gas first and second run and then see how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna move it back again. We're sort of in a bit of a time, what's it called? Oh my god.
Capsule.
The time capsule, yeah. Going from here to there. I lost the words then. To next season. And I want to ask about the calendar, which was released last week.
Yeah.
And just what your thoughts are on that, really.
We are gonna have a lot of flying. What? Yeah, the busy schedule for sure. Like at the end, I always try to like see the calendar, be like open-minded. Okay, it is what it is. We cannot really like have any word in it. So at the end, it's the best that you say, okay, it's the calendar. Now let's do as best as we can around it to have like a perfect amount of trainings and travel and everything. So of course, it's not an easy calendar, especially at the beginning and at the end of season. It's a lot of traveling, which is for sure not the easiest for us, especially like the small countries. We don't have, let's say, so many resources, so much money. So it would be much easier if we could go to US, for example, only once and not twice. But yeah, that's the thing we have to deal with. And but me as a racer, I just look at the races. I see there are lots of races I like, which is important, and trying to focus on that.
Yeah.
Do you feel that, say, I think I'm right in saying here, you're probably going from Levy to Killington, from Gurgle to Killington to Mont Tremblant. Do you feel that the travel has at all any impact on your performance?
Yeah, for sure it does. But at that point, maybe the girls that do only GS are a bit in advantage because we go like Levy and then Gurgle and US. The GS girls are gonna come straight to Killington. But this is one thing that like once it's better for the speed racers or the racers that do the speed and GS, for the other racers it's better for the slalom racers. So it depends, and it's one thing I try not to think too much because it's not something I can really have an
No.
impact on. Yeah.
No.
So, what are your hopes for next season then? Coming off the back of one that, you know, you haven't been at your best, or certainly what you've been in the past couple of seasons. What are the goals?
Yeah, I feel like where I've been like at the start of this season, that's where kind of I belong. So I'm really hoping to show that on races and get back to the top 15 on the start list, and then really push on the world champs as well. So yeah, I'm hoping I can have a really good start of the season. I will try to come for the to be super prepared for the first races, to have a good start of the season, because it's always easier to then build on a good start than to like catch, or how to say, then to be every race now I need a result, I need a result. It's much easier if you have few good results to start and then just keep building on that. So that's kind of my plan, and then we will see how that goes.
Yeah. So what you've just been talking about, the early season, what would you wish for with the conditions, being as it's an early time in the year? What do you think? Do you like the hard snow, or would you hope it's going to be like that for Levy and
Solden?
Solden? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, first thing that I really hope is that there will be more snow than it was this year, because this year before Zoldan we had really like tough conditions on training. It was not much snow, so we were practically skiing on this glacier ice.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that there will be more snow to have some good trainings, and then on the races, we will see. I actually like a hard surface, but not icy. So,
Right.
but this is also one thing that it's really depends on the weather and the preparation. So it's for us racers, is what we can do best is to train in really different conditions and then try to use the conditions as best as possible, because you cannot really change them.
No.
Yeah.
Well, the listeners might be aware, Anna, you might even be aware that we will be in Levy for.
I am aware.
Yeah, I know you're aware. For
Yeah.
to watch our very first World Cup. So let's hope
great.
that we get some great conditions and we see a great result from you.
Thank you. Yeah, let's hope so. Like Levy is one of my favorite races because it's really special. It's, I don't know, it has something special in Levy, and there are always good conditions. So I hope there will not be disappointment this year. Now that I said it, but normally it's really good.
Well, they spent last week in Levy scraping all the snow off the runs and taking it to storage. So in October that'll come out of storage and they'll use it again.
Yeah.
They've got a terrific system there whereby they can save the snow, because it's so much. They've loads and loads of snow this week. So they're busy shipping it ready for you for next year. For later later in the year. Yeah.
They have great system, or like you said. So it's perfect. Yeah. Wherever you go to Levy, there is enough snow, so that's perfect.
Should be, yeah.
And looking back at the calendar again, the first World Cup race of 2025 will be in Kranjska Gora.
Yeah.
Do you like it there? In terms of the snow and the World Cup, of course you like it because it's Slovenia.
I mean, of course, it's home race, so this is always special. I have all my friends always coming for the race, my family, so it's perfect, and I love to race there. I really like the slope. I've had some really good results there in both in slalom and in GS. So yeah, every year I'm really happy when we have the race there, and I love coming back to home race. Yeah.
And I would imagine it's beautiful at the moment there.
Yeah,
now the
it's
snow's
perfect.
gone.
Also in summer, it's really nice.
Yeah.
I want to hear a little bit more about skiing in Slovenia, because there's always been a presence in terms of World Cup races, and indeed the World Cup races being held in Kranjska Gora. But is there something that's still lacking?
Mm, we like snow the most in last years, but mostly in Slovenia, like skiing has always been one of the main sports. Like people lived with skiing. They all like skiing. They enjoy it, especially let's say 20 years ago. It was everyone wanted to watch the ski races. It was we had some really good teams, both women and men. So at that moment, skiing was, let's say, for sure the strongest sport in Slovenia. Now it's getting tougher and tougher because we don't have as much snow as it was before. So also for younger children and everyone, it's not so easy to go on the snow, to have good trainings and everything. And so, but we are trying to, let's say, to keep up with the huge ski nations, and I think we're doing pretty good. And that's why it's also really important to have a home race, like so that people in Slovenia can come and watch the race in person. They can like relate to us when they come to watch the race. So it's a special event, and it really brings us, sport brings people together. So it's important that we have this event at home, that we can like show out what we do at home and really enjoy the race. Yeah.
Do you get a lot of TV coverage of the World Cup in Slovenia?
Yeah, all the races are actually covered. You can watch them on national TV, and so it's always it's never a problem to watch the race. You can always watch every race, every ski race. Yeah, which is really good. Yeah.
And there's a certain strength that is still within the squad, on both genders. You look at Ilka and Ilka Stuhets and Zan Kraniec, and just a couple of weeks ago we were speaking to Mia Chroba and Stefan Hardlin. We did them together, and obviously yourself.
Yeah.
And there's still fresh races coming through, like Nea Dvornik. So do you feel that it's still in good hands, and the position is up there with what it's the best it's ever been?
I cannot say that it's best as ever been, because it was at a really high level. We had 20 years ago, there were 5 Slovenians in top 10, so that was a different story. But but I think we always have someone that can show in every discipline that we can win a race. So this is really important. We have, like I said, Ilka in speed, or Miha, and then it's Jean on the men's side, Minea and Andrea on the women's side. So there are always some strong competitors, and that is really good for our country, because we are actually a very small country. And so it's it's good to see that we can be eye to eye with all the big nations. And of course, more racers than we have, there is more competition, and it's better for every one of us. But it's I would say we can be really like proud to always have someone at the top.
Does it make you feel proud of being Slovenian when you come into the end, when you get over the line and you look at all the people cheering? Do you feel proud that you've crossed the line and that you're representing your country?
Yeah, I'm actually really proud to represent Slovenia on let's say the highest level in our sport. And of course, I'm more proud when I see a good time in the finish area and not some really red light. But it's always nice to see the people cheering. And sometimes I think when you step, maybe I will recognize this even more once I'm, let's say, retired, that you see like what level you've been on and what all you've accomplished. So it's not everyone can race on such a high level, so it's important sometimes that we remind ourselves of that, and try to have it in mind also.
Because I always look at it from the point of view, if you don't get the podium, when you look at the time difference, there's very little in it. You know, you're talking about a few lengths of a ski. It's nothing really. But
Yeah,
unfortunately, you've got to have a 1, 2, 3, and everybody else is forgotten,
yeah, it's
except
like
for
this,
me,
yeah.
because I look at the times.
That's a good one. There should be more like you then. No, but it's this is
No, there
sport. Like,
shouldn't.
that's what makes ah, it's a good one.
It was too easy. Too easy.
But that's what makes the sport special, you know, to never know, to have close gaps, and like you never know who can win. So this is what makes it interesting. And also, if it would be easy to win, then it's not such a big then you cannot be so happy when you do it. So it's I think it's as it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Go on.
I need a minute.
You're
So what are your feelings sort of upon reflection of last season and next season? You know, there's certainly gains that I think you there are to be made, but how do you reach those heights again?
Yeah, I think I did quite a big step already at the end of the season. Like also the new coach, we made a change with the coach, so I really like the new coach. We got along really good. I think we have the same vision, so this is very important. And so at the end of the season, we did a lot of good trainings where I kind of got my good feelings back. Which was very important for me to kind of find these feelings before going on this long break.
Yeah.
So this was already one step forward, and now I would really like to just try to keep the trainings on a really high level, and try to make as many good runs as possible to like do a lot of good turns, and then win that confidence back to be like, okay, I can come on the race and I will show a good run. Because last year it was always like I had two personalities and I didn't really know which one will be on the course that day. So I'm hoping to have only one in the next season.
Yeah. You sound to me as though you're a very positive person. So you really, all you need to do is carry that to the course.
Yeah,
like you
I
say,
am
like
a
you say,
positive person, except when I'm not, but most of the time I am. Yeah.
yeah. So you've got to make sure that your positive side is on the piece rather than
Yeah.
rather
Then the
than
negative,
negative.
yeah, of course.
This is what a few weeks off the snow does to a skier. She's just
You can see that, right?
yeah.
But that's how you need to be, isn't it? When you're skiing, you need to be more relaxed and smile.
Of course, that's one of the really important things to try to be focused on the trainings and the races, but of course have time to relax and try to have your mind at ease. So it's not always easy, but it's I think important, and what all of us try to do.
I'll go. We were talking in an episode last week where we said about when the calendar came out, and we said, I wonder whether racers are going into this year thinking it's the World Championships and taking priority of that over the World Cup season. So I'm just curious to know whether you think I could get a good day in Saalbach and get a medal, or whether you'd prefer to have a consistent season and finish in, say, the top 15 of the standings.
No, I always go for the consistent season, because also it's one thing is that it's really important to have a good season up to the World Championships, because you need a good number there. So if you don't have a good season till then, your number is gonna be shitty and you will have like no chance to even go for like a really top result there. And I think it's one race, so for sure you try to do your best there, and anything can happen on these big competitions. But I think it's very important to try to be, or that's at least what I think, that every race you should try to make your best, like not to say, okay, I will leave my best for later, because anything can happen. So every race I try to be as, let's say, in the best shape that I can be at the moment, and then try to carry that with throughout the season.
Good. That's very good. That's very good.
Good answer. Or
That's a very good answer. Yeah.
You can go now.
Yeah, I can
Your
go.
No, your turn.
Yeah, it's interesting to listen to you saying them things, because listening to you, you sound, I did say that you sound positive, but what you say is exactly what you should be thinking when you're going, as an international athlete. And I'm sure once you've got over that and you can put that into your skiing, you'll race away.
yeah, that's the plan, of course. But it's always like when they tell you, yeah, try to be more relaxed. But the thing is that you can be relaxed once you had some good results, and then you can try to be more calm. It's really tough to be super relaxed and ski bad. So that's
Oh
yeah.
yeah. What goes through your mind when you're at the gate ready for racing? Anything? Do you have a routine, or do you just take it as it comes?
No, yeah, I have a routine, of course. I also work with now I lost the word, how it's supposed to say. Well, let's say, yeah, I have a routine, of course, and then you have some exercise like that you work on the start, so you can get more, let's say, more relaxed, or that you can focus on only the important things and leave the things that are not important in the moment, like somewhere else, not carry them with you on the start. Yeah, so this is one thing that it's very important that can help you bring your best in that moment.
Yeah, absolutely. You realize that when I presume you'll be in Saalbach, because why wouldn't you be? That would be your 7th World Championships. Do you see yourself as a senior member of the team?
Yeah, actually, I do. Also, I can look at the start list and then see all these 2000 something, so I see that I'm older already. Yeah, but that's actually also a good thing. I really like my life at the moment, or I like that I'm a bit older, because you have a lot of things you can now do by yourself. Before, you always needed, let's say, I lived home with my parents, now I can live by myself. And so it's also stuff in your life that you did throughout your career that you always wanted. So it's like I wouldn't go back and be 20 again, but I enjoy this experience I have, and I try to have this as an advantage, because we, of course, we did so many things already in our career that maybe I have more experiences than the other racers, and this is something you can really, let's say, took as a positive thing.
When did you feel in the moment, at the time, whenever it was, when did you feel at your best, in terms of maybe that's physically, mentally, or just down to the results?
I was actually feeling like the best, I would say, at the end of the season 2001 and 2002. Yeah, so this was because in this season I was only growing all the season. Every race I was better and, let's say, closer to the best girls. And then there was the last race, I was starting for the first time in top 7. I scored my best result there. So this was when I was really feeling like, okay, now I can just go rest a bit and then come back next year and I will be super on the top. So at that moment it would be great if the season didn't finish already, but but it did. And yeah, but it was a nice moment. I was feeling like, no matter the conditions, no matter what the course was, the course setting, the snow, I was feeling good on everything. So this is kind of a feeling you want to have as a as a racer, and this is what we work on to have it in the future, you know.
Of course.
So we'll take it that you've had your good summer relaxation. You've done all your gym work, and the snow started to fall. What's going to be going through your mind? Is it going to be going through your mind that here we go again?
I don't know. It's actually a tough question because I don't feel the same every year once we start skiing. But normally after this, let's say 2-3 month break, I'm always really eager to go back on snow. So I think this is very important that you in this break that you start to miss the snow, that you start to miss the ski trainings. So then once you're back on the snow, your motivation should be really on a high level, and you need to be ready to work then.
Yeah.
Have you got any more questions?
No, it's all right.
I've said everything, huh?
Fire questions. That is what. Yeah. Quick fire questions. That's what comes next.
Okay.
As some of you listeners may be aware of. But we're actually going to start with the question in the language of the guest. I'm not sure that I've pre-warned you about this now, Anna, and I'm just checking that you are aware that I'm going to ask you a question in Slovenian.
And I should answer in Slovenian as well, or?
You can if you want, but we won't be able to respond to it.
No, I will answer in English. That's fine.
Good. This seemed too short in Slovenian to mean what I put in Google Translate as in English. So I think there might be some sort of mistake in there, but I can give it a try. This is my second bash at Slovenian after Mia and Stefan.
Yeah.
So here we go. Kje vi Sloveniji nara smušate?
Okay, I think that's where we like to ski the most in Slovenia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was not perfect, and we can still work on that.
That was a bit short.
But I understood. Yeah, I was super. Let's say, yeah, I like to ski the most in Kranjska Gora in Slovenia. Yeah, that's my favorite place.
It was a bit short, wasn't it?
It was a short question, yeah.
Nice and easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
on, Matt.
And to the quick fire questions now then, which sort of might have just been covered, but your favorite resort in the world?
From my results, I guess, no? I liked the most when I was 5th in the home race in Kranjska Gora.
Yeah. How about your favorite place to ski?
That would be, I guess, Beaver Creek.
Oh, not Kranjska Gora.
I want to go back.
Sorry, you're just cutting out a little bit there. We didn't quite catch that.
I said I've been in Beaver Creek only once, but I really liked it, so I'm hoping to go back there.
Well, there's speed events there, isn't there?
Yeah.
On the calendar.
So I
will you
like for speed, and then I will be able to go there.
Yeah. Train some speed just so you can go and race there again. How about your best friend in the sport?
I have a few good friends like from my team, but they are all retired already. But I was really, or still am, good friends with Anna Dreu. She was a good GS skier, and Tina Robnik, Katarina Lauter. So these are friends, like, let's say, friends for life. And then at the moment I really have a good friendship with Lena Deer and Michelle Justin, also Paula Molson. So yeah, it's we are actually spent quite a lot of time together during the ski season, so it's good. We have some new friendships, and it's really nice. Yeah,
that sounds like a bit of a slalom dream team. Yeah, you can create like a fantasy team. You'd have some of those girls in there, definitely.
Great.
Yeah. Who was your inspiration to start ski racing?
I didn't I never really had someone that I would say, yeah, I want to be like this racer or so. I had like smaller challenges. Like at first, it was when we were skiing. I wanted to, let's say, beat my mom, then beat my dad. But then at the moment when once I started to train, like in the ski club, at that moment, Janica Kostelic, the Croatian skier, was at her top, and then I really admired her, and I was kind of feeling connected to her because she also didn't come from a very ski area, and so yeah, I always admired how she came on the top, like an underdog, or how to say.
Yeah. Well, that is all of the quickfire questions.
Perfect.
Thank you very much. It was a very good conversation, and come and say hello to us in Levy.
Yeah. Find me if I don't find you.
Thank you so much. Really enjoyed that, and all the very best in the new season.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
Yeah, finally, nearly forgot. If there's anybody you want to thank, family, sponsors, etc., and any questions you have for us, we always like to ask.
Oh, well, the thank you list is always long, but of course, in any sport, it cannot go without without the support from the family and my friends. Like, I'm really glad to have really good people around me, and so this is very important. And of course, also the sponsors. I've been having them for years now, and what I really like this season is that my season was not the best, but like my sponsors never really showed that to me. They were always behind me, always cheering also when it wasn't everything going as planned. So this is one thing that I was really happy about this season, and kind of makes me even more excited to work with such good people. And
Yeah.
you all the best with your podcast. For me, it was also first time doing that, so it was an experience, and maybe we'll do it after a few years again.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
definitely.
good.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, and all the best.
Yeah.
And thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye bye.
See ya.
Nice.